Let's have a good show. Here we are. It says you are live. I love when it says that because otherwise I have no idea. So we're live. Welcome to Build It Through Culture Live. It is Thursday night. If it's Build It Through Culture Live, Steph, it must be Thursday night, or at least
That's right.
It's every other Thursday night anyway,
Right.
because that's
It's
how we
some
come to you.
Thursday night,
It's some
right?
Thursday night. It's Thursday somewhere.
That's right.
We're coming at you every other Thursday on this program, bringing you taking culture and using it to build your thing, your organization, your company, your family, whatever it is, using culture. And, I was talking about this with people the other day, and I'd never even thought about it like this before. But when you establish a culture in your organization, the reason it's so good for growth, and I don't think we really talked about this, the reason it's so good for growth and why we keep doing this until people really start listening and catching on is because when people enter an organization and they know what the culture is, they know how to behave. They know if they belong and they know if they don't belong. And so therefore, if they belong and they're part of it, they will actually help you grow it. Right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about culture, but actually I forgot to introduce myself. So
yeah,
I'm Rob
I was
Genovese.
just going to say, you need to introduce yourself,
Who
Rob.
is this guy?
Hey, where's our song?
Oh, I know. Let's play some music. So let's kick it off right here. So we're going to come in with music. And so I'm Rob Genovese, and I am the owner of Unleash My Beast brand. We are a brand strategy company. And I am also, for Master Networks, I am the area director for Rockland County, New York. And I am the regional director for New Jersey. And this is my culture collaborator, Steph Bellafato. Go ahead, Steph.
Hey, guys. Stephanie Bellafato here. I represent ServPro. We're your local disaster recovery specialist. We clean up all kinds of disasters like fire, water, mold, biohazard, crime scene. If you have a mess, if you have crime scene, if you have a mess, we can clean it up for you, whatever that mess is. Give us a call. But I'm also proudly a president of the Carmel, New York chapter, as well as on the national and regional leadership team on culture and retention with my culture collaborator here, Rob Genovese, and Miss Tina Campbell, the New York, Connecticut regional partner, and an area director in the region. So,
Is that all you do, Steph? Is that it?
Yeah, right.
Don't you do anything else? God, I'm such a slacker.
Yeah, I'm such a slacker. I know. We're so happy to be here with you guys tonight.
Yeah, we got people showing up already. Hey, Rachel.
Oh, hey,
hi,
Rachel.
Friends. How you doing?
How are you?
Hey, Sammy.
Ooh,
hey,
Sammy.
Hey. How you doing? Don't say it.
I'm not saying it. Hey, Sammy. Look, Sammy. I have my mug here. Just want you to know. Sammy Vecchio made this mug for me. This is a saying I say here at Master Networks all the time. We don't just do business together. We do life together.
Yes, we do. For sure. Thank you, Sammy, for getting that for. And Steph
She
coined that.
made it for me. She didn't get it for me. She made it for me.
She hand lettered with paint and a brush, and
she made this for me. So it's not just like, oh, she bought it for me. It's so much better when someone creates something for you.
Absolutely. Hey, Maria, thank you for coming. Hey, happy to be here. Hey, we're happy you're here. So that's good.
Yeah. Hey, Maria. She's one of the newest members of the Carmel chapter, Rob.
Hey, welcome, Maria. Welcome to Carmel. Great chapter.
Hey, Chris.
Chris, ever supportive Chris Janiski. Welcome, Chris. Hey, Sandra. How you doing? Good to see you. And here it is. Here's the secret. Sammy said, I made it with my Cricut. Some people out there, they're going, what the heck's a Cricut? Like that was the thing in my yard that's annoying me, but no, it's a machine, right? That makes things. That's about all I know.
Yeah, me too. I'm not that high tech.
Not crafty that way.
She's so creative. I can be crafty sometimes, but it just depends on what.
Crafty as in like crafty?
No, crafty as in creative making stuff.
Who remembers She's Crafty?
Yeah, I do remember that.
There's a song. Who remembers that? Put it in the chat if you remember that. Tell us who sang She's Crafty. We want to, we know you're going to age yourself a little bit, but that's okay. You're amongst friends, so don't worry about it. Right?
And hey, also let us know if you know the song that Rob was just playing. Put it in the chat.
Yeah, and Chris, if we weren't playing Beastie Boys. That's not the song Steph's talking about. He got it right. He got it right away. She's Crafty by the Beastie Boys. If you remember the Beastie Boys, they were beastie. Right. Way to go, Chris. Were you a big fan, Chris? I'd like to know that if you're a big fan. I was never a big fan. I don't. Some people loved them. I just was like, I don't know. Talk about a culture. Like you're either drawn to the people, the mood they create, the music they create, the experience they put out, or you're not. And I
Right,
was not.
right.
Hey, Barbara.
Hey, Barb. Good to
Good to see
see
you.
you.
Good to see you. Well, we can't see you, but good to
Well,
see you that you're here.
good to see you here with us. Like we know you're here with us hanging. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you're joining us obviously from the Master Networks Inc. page, but if you haven't liked it or followed it, please do that now. And you don't want to miss out on notifications, things coming down the pike, future episodes of Build It Through Culture Live. Of course, you always want to be in the know that this is happening because this is happening. It is the happening place. So make sure you
there
like
you
that.
go. And
And
hey,
what else?
on that note, let's remember to thank I want to thank Renee Pride for giving Rob and I this opportunity to do this here on the Master Networks Inc. page. So Renee, thank you. We
She's awesome.
appreciate you. Um, and
She
of
works
course,
hard, man.
yeah,
She works hard with a smile on her face all the time.
yeah. She's such a good person.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Chaz Wilson for starting this whole Master Networks amazing networking group.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Tina Campbell, can't thank her
Of course.
enough for being such a great mentor to both Rob and myself.
Yeah.
She's just amazing.
Yeah, I don't think she knew what she was starting when she started this. I asked her that one time, and maybe she kind of had a vision for what it could be, or she hoped it would be. But I can't imagine this. This doesn't exist, but you're going
Yeah.
to start it, and you're the only person who knows what it is.
I can't imagine it either, Rob. I really can't. And to see how far it's come, um, even in the time that I have been here, and the growth that we've had since the pandemic, like that's been one beautiful thing that came from this pandemic was the growth in the New York, Connecticut, New Jersey region. And not just the growth though, the culture, right?
Yeah.
Because when that happened and Tina was like, "All right, let's all just rally and show up in this Zoom room," right? We all were there for each other, and that's so super important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going to Zoom very quickly, you know, in many aspects saved what she started and enabled people like you and I to meet, first of all, because we wouldn't have met otherwise. A lot of people
Right.
know that. We live approximately almost an hour away from each other and didn't travel in the same circles. But, here we are collaborating on culture often and
Yep.
regularly. And that is thanks to Zoom. So, you blame the technology sometimes for the headaches it brings. And for some people go, it's taking away from that in-person thing. But look what it gave us, right? It
Yeah,
gave
and
us
here's the funny part. For like a year before the pandemic, Tina was doing this. I
yeah,
think
I
I
know.
think she was doing it like once a month or once every couple of weeks, and
And
she
she'd be like, and I just people would come, but they wouldn't come.
yeah, she's like, and no one she'd have a couple people show up, but mainly no one was coming, and how quickly and look, so that was her practice run, right? And then all of a sudden the pandemic happened and we didn't have a choice. We had to learn, right? We had to learn
Yeah,
it
very fast. And like Barbara
really
said,
quick.
it was the only way to be together, right? Otherwise, we couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a part of another organization at the time, and they flat out just stopped meeting, just stopped because they didn't know what to do. They hadn't practiced Zoom at all, and I had been on Zoom with my clients prior to that, but they didn't know what to do, so they stopped me. Could you imagine? Sorry, we're going to stop meeting because they told us to, and not even try and figure out a way to make it
Oh,
work. But
yeah,
boom,
that's silly to me. And the whole thing that Tina already knew, right? She already knew. She was like, "Okay, okay, so we're not meeting live and in person, but that doesn't mean we can't meet. So let's hop on this Zoom. I'm going to put a code in and type that in and we'll all be together." I was like, "What?"
yeah. Chris says she's a visionary. Yeah, she would laugh if she heard you say that because she's so humble. But the fact is, she was working to get us on Zoom when we were in person, there was no pandemic, and people were
Right.
going, nah, nah, I like in person. And we do love in person. We do need that physical energy and interaction. But what she was saying was, here's another way. She wasn't saying she didn't want to replace the meetings prior to
Right. No,
COVID.
but here's another way to do it.
It's another way to get with people. Because if I had embraced it, now she was doing it and I wasn't going, so I'm guilty. Sorry, Tina. I didn't
Yeah.
go to her Zoom meetings either because I said, like most people, what's the point, right?
Right.
But again, she's a visionary because I didn't get it. I was
Right.
like, well, why? I don't have time for that. I'm getting together with people, you
And
know.
how cool is it now, right? Our meetings are all on Zoom now in our region. And that's great because we see each other live now all the time too.
Yeah.
We have this amazing, amazing golf outing coming up
Oh my
on
gosh.
Monday,
Don't
right?
talk about the golf outing. I can't take it. I can't wait.
I can't wait. There's going to be over 300 people there.
Yeah, I agree, Jamel. Tina is the best.
And not just 300 people, 300 amazing people, relationships unbelievable, people from out of state, North Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania. I think we
Florida?
think
Did you say Florida?
uh, Florida too. Yep.
11.
There's going to be, I think I figured out it's like people from 11 different states.
Yeah. Isn't
How
that amazing?
amazing is that?
That is amazing. People coming for a golf outing. Now, if you just look at it on the surface, like it's just a golf outing. And I like to play it down like that with people like, look, it's a golf outing. Don't you want to know what's happening at this golf outing that would draw people from 11 states?
To come. Right,
That's a ton
right.
of people. You're right, Barb. It is a ton of people.
How fun. We had such a blast last year. It was like, and some of these people that we'll see at this golf outing on Monday, we haven't met in person, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have Larry staying with me from Texas right now, and on Saturday I'll have, Tina Melham and her husband from down in Tennessee staying with me too.
Yeah.
It's going to be like such a fun time. We're going to have such a great time.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Barbara says, I'll be there all day and I don't even golf. I think that's the magical part about this because we say
Yep.
golf outing, but I make sure to tell people, I said, but if you're a non-golfer, I'm like, don't miss this because it will be one of the best events of the year that you will attend. I promise. It will be one of the best events of the year if you don't go. So you may as well go so you don't miss out on it because
Absolutely. So
the golf is a piece of it. It's just a piece.
well, think about it last year, right? All the people that missed out for whatever reason, right? And then they saw the video afterwards and they saw all the pictures. They all had FOMO. They were like, oh my God, I should have been. I should have. Yeah, there you go. Sandra, don't have FOMO, right? Everybody was like, oh, I got to go next year. I got to go next year. So don't be that person.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I always hated that. See, I had FOMO before they called it FOMO. I would go wherever my friends were going or wherever people were going just because I was afraid I was going to miss something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, it's not a big deal. But here's the thing: the culture that Tina created is where all these people are coming from, right? They're coming from this culture, and they're gathering. It's culminating into this one event. Now, we do many events throughout the year. Don't get me wrong,
Absolutely.
but this seems to be like the crowning event of the year, where again people come from all over, but where we come together for golf, sure, but for networking, there's going to be people, harassing people on the golf course. No doubt about that. There's going to be people
I'll be
hanging
one
out,
of them. I'll be
playing.
one of them.
You'll be one of them, a harasser. She's our official harasser, lead
Well, look,
harasser.
I'll be tooling around in the golf cart, taking pictures of all of you and connecting, right? Listen, this is like such a, I described it last year. Like, look, Rob coined the phrase this year. Last year, I kept saying it's going to be epic, right? This is going to be an epic event. And it certainly was an epic event. And this year, Rob was like, okay, so what is it this year? Epicer. I'm like, okay, Epicer. There
Yeah.
you go. It's going to be Epicer, right?
What's better than epic? I don't know. I couldn't think of another word, so that's why it became epicer.
Right.
Oh yeah, so funny. So Barbara said she had FOMO last year. Oh, look at this. So Barbara said, figured if I'm going to drive an hour so to get there, I'd figure I'd volunteer and be there all day. Somebody told me, I forget who it was. I think it was Rachel because she's on the community council. Give me 34 volunteers. 34 volunteers, people who they're not getting paid. They're not really, I don't think they're doing anything in particular. They're showing up and saying, how can I help?
Yep.
What do you need me to do?
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, we all told them at the beginning, like, we all said, "Well, I'll help." There's a whole ton of us that were like, "How can I help? What can I do? How can I pitch in?"
Yeah.
That's what this is all about, right?
Yeah. Rachel,
Again, we always have each other's back.
Rachel does what I was taught to do. She says she always stays on at the end of every meeting, and she does every meeting. She doesn't want to miss anything because sometimes, after the meeting, whatever meeting it is, that's when the real fun happens.
Right.
That's when the real conversations start. It's
Right.
once the main amount of people, the regular people leave because they got to get somewhere, and you start talking about serious stuff. So I agree, Rachel.
It's true. That's why we always have the after party in the Carmel chapter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because after the meeting, that's where people really dive deeper and get to know each other on a deeper level, right? So if you have a hard time, you know, scheduling those face to faces, that's the perfect opportunity in staying after the meeting to connect with people a little bit better.
yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But this Monday, first of all, we're expecting perfect weather, 79 degrees, sunny, which in New York in June, you don't always get that.
Right.
It'd be great. And
Right.
then we're going to have golf, we talked about. And for those of you who are not golfers, but maybe you're thinking about it, you can actually donate a certain amount, and there'll be a golf pro there who can teach you. So you may as well go there, hit some balls, swing the club, have fun, learn something. It's just about enjoying ourselves and raising money for a good cause, which we haven't really talked about that yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later. So, guys, who knows what it is we're actually talking about tonight? If you know what we're talking about tonight, please put it in the comments. And oh, by the way, let me know if you have shared this to your page. I'd like for you to comment shared. If you have shared, please share this to your page. I say it all the time. It has the ability to have a further reach to people that aren't part of master networks, but maybe are looking for an amazing networking group of people that are relationship based, that they want to look. We're not stuffy. We like to, look, we do a lot of training. HQ offers a lot of training for all of us. We're always learning together, but we have fun and we enjoy it. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah, we put together this hashtag here. We want this to spread around. So anytime you're posting in Master Networks, you put on any post, and you put if you're a hashtagger, you do hashtags. I want you to add this hashtag Network for Life. And here's the thinking behind this. Here's the what this means. It has a double meaning. This network that we are a part of. If you're a part of this culture, you realize this is like nothing else. This is your network for life. You really don't have to go anywhere else. I focused in here. I dropped out of the other organizations. I know people that were part of many organizations for decades, and they dropped the other ones to focus in here because the culture, the people, the opportunity, everything that it's doing to give back, raising people up, giving speaker platforms. I mean, everything we do in order to raise the experience here we're doing. So this is your network for life, but also on the active side of that, it means you network for life. You network for your life. You do that. Everything you want out of life, you need a network to achieve it. So it has this double meaning. So add this hashtag to your group of hashtags that you're putting out there when you're talking about anything networking business. And if people don't know what it is and they ask you, you tell them. See,
There you go.
I mean,
You tell them.
yeah, you can just invite them to a meeting and say, you'll see.
Yeah, and you know what? That's the beautiful thing about master networks, right? It's not like we want you to have the experience, right? So don't talk too much about a meeting,
Yeah.
right? Give them a general and then invite them to come in And, again, Rob and I talk about this all the time. At the end of the meeting, we're always asking the visitor, like, hey, what's your best takeaway?
Yeah.
What did you like the most?
Tell them what we hear over and over and over again.
Oh my God, I love the energy in this room, right? Like I hear that all the time. You guys really care about each other, like
Yeah.
genuine. I'm like, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Those are some of the things that, like, I had a guy say to me a couple of weeks ago, I've never been to a meeting with, I've never been to a networking meeting with a group of people that had so much heart.
Wow.
That meant like, whoa, that gave me, it really gave me chills.
Yeah.
When you hear those kinds of things from people, you know,
Well, they're not getting that anywhere else.
right, right,
And that's the thing. It's almost sad in a way. In one way, I feel, very privileged that we're exclusive when we have that and we can call it ours and it's our culture. But on the other hand, it's kind of sad that there's only one organization or very few, let's say. Most of the other ones that are kind of the alternative to what we're doing, they don't offer any of that. There is no heart because it's all based on one thing, and that's a referral for business because they're making it all about money. And honestly, if life was all about making money, we'd all be doing something different,
right,
no doubt,
right.
because there's other ways to make just pure make millions, but there's nothing to it. There's no
Yeah,
purpose.
what are you passionate about, right? What sets your soul on fire that you want to do so bad? Like those are the things that, and look, we get to do it with like an amazing group of people, right? And it's so nice to be able to look, Rob and I talk all the time, right? So it's like, and we could talk culture like 24/7, right? Like,
Yeah.
we like eat, sleep, breathe culture.
Well, that's because it applies to everything.
Right.
It applies to everything.
Your home
Even if
life
you
and
can.
your business life.
Hey, Justin. Enjoy life
Justin,
with
he
great
he
people.
is and you know what? Justin is one of the best people. If you don't know
Good dude.
Justin, guys, you need to have a face to face with him. He's the president of the Cortland Manor chapter. He's also the vice chair of the Mapac Carmel Chamber of Commerce. And he's one of the best guys.
He's a
Truly
good
one of the
dude.
best.
A good dude. Chris, thank you for sharing. Oh, Maria, best group I've ever joined. Thank you, Stephanie, for inviting.
Oh,
Let me talk about this for a second. I tell the story, and a lot of people have heard it before of how I got in. I met a stranger one night at an event after I traveled a half hour in the rain and didn't want to. And Pasquale Palumbo started a conversation with me, and I never met him before. He invited me to a meeting that I really didn't care to go to. I went because I liked the guy, but he didn't know me, and maybe he could have had a bad night. Maybe he wasn't feeling great. Maybe he just didn't feel like talking, but that was kind of his role that night. And he invited me, and I said to him, I said one time, I said, "What if you didn't invite me? How different my life would be because of what this has meant in my life." Listen, I've made no bones about it. Most of my goals that I had have been fulfilled in this organization.
yeah.
Had Pasquale not invited me, shared it, we're saying we appreciate you guys sharing this to your feed. Share your meeting with people because you don't
Yeah.
know how it's going to change their life.
And Chaz has said to us all, right? You're one relationship away of changing your entire trajectory,
Yeah,
right? One relationship away, guys. You don't know who that relationship is going to be. And don't be don't think narrowly thinking that like, oh, I've heard people say, oh, well, that person, they're not in my sphere, so to speak, of who could pass business. Don't discount anybody because you don't know who they know.
that's right. That's right. And by the way, I openly thank Pasquale Palumbo all the time. And I tell my story because I want people to know how awesome a guy he is. And he is an awesome guy just on his own
He
merit.
is.
A good
He is an
guy,
awesome guy.
just a good guy, a good friend. But the fact that he invited a stranger, me, I want you to thank the person who invited you in. If you love this, I want you to thank him. I want you to send him a text right now and thank them. Say, hey, you know what? I was thinking about it. I really love Master Networks and the people it's brought into my life and the opportunity. I just wanted to thank you for inviting me. If you please take out your phone right now and text that to the person who sponsored you in, well, I want to see, and then I want to hear the results for the people that do this. And if you get a response, just post it in the chat here. I want to hear that because you should be thanking them. It was a real privilege that he shared this with me, and I
Right.
continue to share it with others.
Yeah, I'm going to thank Sadie Smith Clark because she's the one that brought me in. So um, instead of texting her, I'm going to say it right here. Thank you, Sadie. And it's funny because, you know, I think back of when I first started and like other than Sadie, right? Maggie Carey was was the like first official face to face that I had. I met
Oh,
her
really?
out and she's amazing. And she's now become a great friend of mine, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. She was one of my first ones too. In fact, here's the thing. It's so funny you bring up Maggie because when I got in, there's all these people you get to meet. And Tina was like, "Rob, do lots of face to faces." I'm like, well, my gosh, there's so many people. Where do I start? So I would go to meetings and I would hear names being thrown around like, I had a face to face with so and so, or I met so and so and they were so great, and I kept hearing Maggie's name come up. So I'm like, who is this girl, man? I got to meet her. So I'm like, I'm still a New Yorker. I'm still a little bit crusty at that point. I'm like, what's the big deal about this Maggie Carey person? So I found out now listen, I went to the hub. I looked up what chapter she was in. There's a tip right there. Go to the hub, find out what chapter somebody's in, and you don't have to do what I did. I drove an hour to Brewster, hoping she would be there that day, and she was. And we sat down. We've been friends ever since.
Yeah. She's a gem. She really, really is.
Yeah, absolutely. Marie says, "I just thanked Stephanie here." Yes,
Uh,
she did.
Thank you, Maria. And I appreciate you. It's so funny, right? It's like 6 degrees of separation. I, at the time when I invited her, I didn't know who she was. She is a friend of mine's brother. Her brother, I know. I totally just butchered that.
Start over.
I know Maria's brother and sister-in-law.
Okay.
And so when we're having our face to face, I'm on the board of my local chamber. Maria came in and she signed up for the chamber, and I said, "Are you doing any other networking?" And she said, "Well, no." And I, not really. I'm signing up for the chamber, some of the other chambers. And I said, "Oh, well, I'm part of this amazing networking group. We go on tonight at 5. You want to come?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." She came all
Just
in,
like that.
just like that. Just like that. It was 2 hours. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
People complicate this thing. Like, I don't know what to say to people. Hey, what did you just say? Come meet an awesome group of people.
Yeah, I
Okay.
said, this is an awesome group of people. This is a great way to get to know other people in the community. And like, in the chapter, like this could really help you.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I would love to. Thank you for the invite." 2 hours later, she showed up.
Yeah.
And that night after the meeting, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm all in. This is awesome."
So she's like me. Pasquale literally said to me, "Hey, you want to come check out my networking group?" And I went, "Okay." And 3 nights later, not 3 nights, this was a Monday night. Thursday morning, I was in that meeting. He only asked me once. He said, "Would you like to come?" I said, "Yes." I showed up. I left. So I told this story today. This is funny. So, Pasquale's an Italian guy. I'm an Italian guy. So everybody leaves the meeting and he sits down. And he goes, "Hey, why don't you have a seat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll have a seat. We'll chit chat, like two Italian guys do." And he starts to talk about Master Networks. I go like this. It's a little bit blunt. I go, "Save it. I'm in how much?" So he told me, and I said, "Great. Now let's just talk about me and you and
Right.
whatever we're doing." Right. So I
Right.
went home. I signed up right away. That was it. That was it. From
That's
Monday
it.
to Thursday, signed up. Why? You can't say the wrong thing to the right people, but you just got to ask them.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rob,
I'm
it's
there.
like nearing the time. Guys, what do you think it is we're talking about tonight?
Let me bring this one up. I can't miss it. So this is actually Tina Campbell. She's on the Master Networks Inc. Handle here. She says thank you to Dave Jenks for pushing her to start this. We lost Dave last year. Just an amazing human being, great
Oh,
trainer,
great guy.
great teacher, right? Great
Yeah,
teacher.
really.
Just a wealth of knowledge he was, and Dave.
So motivating
Oh my
too.
gosh,
Like
yeah,
he really knew how to
good
motivate
communicator.
people.
What a
Yeah.
communicator.
And yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So he pushed Tina to start Master Networks in the Northeast here. And look, imagine that. He's pushed her, she said.
Yeah.
That means he didn't say, "Hey, you should do this," and she said, "Okay, see you later." Like, I'll do it.
Right. Right.
It seems like she had to have some cajoling. So thank God that Dave, did encourage Tina to do it, and Tina decided to do it because I say it all the time. I couldn't have done what she did. I couldn't have started from scratch.
Hey, I'm curious. Hey, Tina, did he voluntold you?
That's
I
where it
want to know
started.
if he voluntold you.
Maybe that's where it started. Yeah, probably, right? I
Right.
mean, he was a mentor of hers, and I know he taught her so much. So, when a mentor says, "Hey, you should do this," it carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does.
Well,
She
they were business
said yes.
partners.
She said
They
yes.
yes, yeah. See, they were business partners, right?
Right.
So, you know, um, what a great man. He's so missed by a lot of people.
So if you're wondering, like, how come we haven't mentioned the word culture in a while, this is all culture. We're talking about
Right.
every little thing you hear in nuance, we're pointing it out. We're pointing out, like, I asked you to text your sponsor and say thank you for inviting me. That's culture. That's
Right.
thinking of another person. It's being kind, it's being polite, it's making yet another connection, another bond that you have with somebody, saying, I appreciate you. That's
Right.
culture.
And what do I always say at the end of every Build It Through Culture Live? I tell everybody, and I do it at the end of my meeting too, right? Just spread love to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, man.
It's so much easier to wear a smile than a frown,
Yeah.
right? And you could talk to the skincare ladies out there. They'll be telling you frowns will give you a lot more wrinkles than a smile will, right?
Heard
And you
that.
know
Yeah.
what? If I get wrinkles from smiling, I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what's on Steph's mug. Thanks to Sammy. Like, we don't just do business together; we do life together. And that golf outing is a culmination of this, because we pass referrals. We don't talk about it a lot, but people do business. They're
Yeah.
making money in their business based on the network they're building. But then that life part, like, for 300 people to come together in a golf outing / dinner in one day, and traveling, some people at a great distance.
Yeah,
That
by
is doing life
plane,
together.
like by plane.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
There you go.
That's great. So yeah, it is 7:32. I know you were alluding to. We got a
I
surprise guest.
was. So, hey guys, who do you think our surprise guest is tonight? I want you to put it in the chat.
Yeah. Put it in the chat. If you think you know who it is, I think we've been stumping people a lot. We
Yeah,
people
yeah. We
haven't
want
been able
to
to guess it too much.
right.
You know. Thank you,
Who do
Barbara.
you
She
think it
she
is?
puts an inspirational quote of some kind, usually geared towards being kind. Absolutely. Kindness, there's a shortage of kindness, everybody. You
Yeah,
create more, please. Please.
yeah.
That's awesome. So Tina says it's Maggie Carey. Could be.
Could
Could
be.
be. Be a good guess. Hey, Maria. Maria's here.
Oh, I know why
There's
Marie
Larry.
is saying Larry, because Larry is here right now, right?
Well, that would be convenient, wouldn't it?
Right,
Just step into the
right.
picture.
So good
Barbara
guess.
says, I know. She knows. She knows it's Larry. Lawrence Blackmon.
Lawrence,
Blackmon.
the
Lawrence.
black man.
I wonder if he goes by Lawrence, by
No,
anybody. Maybe when he
no.
gets in trouble. That's like people call me Robert. I said, don't call me
I
Robert.
think I
The only
asked him,
time
and
I heard
he's
that was when I was in trouble by my dad.
yeah. I think I asked him once, and he said the only one that ever calls me that is my mama.
My mom.
My
I'm
mama.
like a true Texan. Mom. So, okay. So we're running out of time here because it's 7:33. I want to give this person plenty of time to talk about what we're going to talk about, which, did anybody actually say it? What we're going to talk about?
I
Talk about
think
creating
I
community.
I think I
Somebody said
think of I think of course who's usually the one.
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel
Rachel always
usually
gets it.
gets it first.
Rachel
She's
usually gets it. Yeah. So yeah. So we're
a
going to be
surprise.
talking about.
So we give you we give you applause for that, Rachel. That's right. Rachel is always actively listening and paying attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we are talking about creating community, and I'm just going to turn off the branding here so we can fit this person in this screen with us. Help me welcome to Build It Through Culture Live, everybody, Mr. Chris Januski.
Woo woo!
Hey,
Hey,
Chris.
Chris.
hello. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
Chris,
No,
tell
thank you for
everybody who
coming.
you are and what you do.
Yeah.
All right. So my name is Chris Januski. I'm the current member advisor of the Friday Morning White Plains chapter, but a property casualty insurance agent licensed in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And I gotta say thank you to Master Networks, because before joining, I was only in New York. So because of Master Networks, we were licensed in Connecticut and Jersey now too.
Nice.
So
That's
yeah.
Round of
awesome,
applause.
Chris.
So I'm also the vice president of the Gold Coast chapter that meets on Tuesday mornings.
Another person who has too much time on his hands.
Right.
But you have another title too, Chris.
And the third role I hold in Master Networks is the director of communications for the Community Council. So it's Barry Dorfman, Miri Upton, and myself in the Community Council. And what we're doing is absolutely amazing. We're hosting this golf outing on Monday. I don't know if everybody.
This is the first I'm hearing of this. You're talking about a golf outing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure
There's
if
a golf
everybody.
outing?
It was so I went last year and I joined in the middle of the pandemic. So I'll start with, you're talking about who brought you in, right? So Fenton Joseph brought me in. He does websites for our chapter, and it was a complete fluke. It was November of 2020, the middle of the pandemic, and he posted something online on LinkedIn that there's a networking event with a speaker on the Friday morning at 8 a.m. I was like, well, it's Friday morning at 8 a.m. I have absolutely nothing going on. We're in the pandemic. I haven't seen anybody in forever, but in person, I was like, I need to check this out. So I get in there. Steve Spiro is giving a presentation on LinkedIn. There's 90 people in the room. And I said, I need this in my life.
Didn't take long, eh, Chris?
Right.
So we want to know, Chris, did you text Fenton while Rob?
I did. I texted him while Rob was speaking. I haven't gotten anything back yet.
Yeah.
But I did thank him. I saw him the other night. We had a mixer for our chapter, and I saw him and told him then like how much I appreciate it. But this golf outing, so A.B. Gabor is the chapter president for Friday mornings, and last year at the golf outing, just the love you could feel in the room, it was just absolutely amazing. And I looked at him, I said, do you guys do this? Has this ever happened? And he said, no. This is the first time we're really getting together since the pandemic. And it was amazing how, because of Tina's vision, right, and using Zoom and us being able to do this, there's so many people that I knew of their face and their shoulders. And
Right.
you got to hug. So I've known them for almost a year and never met any of them in person. And
Wasn't it like Christmas Day?
It really was. It was absolutely amazing. Yeah. So the community that you're talking about now, we built it in our weekly meetings, a 1-hour meeting, and then finally coming together last year for the first time, and giving hugs and just meeting and oh, you're taller than I thought you were. You're shorter than I thought you were. Because everybody's the same size on Zoom, right?
First thing you notice.
It's so true. It's so funny.
Yeah. But that was, I remember that well, of course, because it was just a year ago. But I think it was that powerful. And I ended up driving Craig Ingber, who documented the day on video, driving him around so he can take shots of everybody. But it was actually, I feel like I got the better end of the bargain, because I got to see everybody on the golf course and people who I had not seen in person before either until that day. And I didn't expect that, but it was so magical. It's almost like Zoom made that so much more special than if we were getting together all the time in person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of the fact that our meetings are virtual, but we're still having mixers outside of the meeting so we can get together in person and hug each other and have that connection too.
Yeah. So Chris, I have to ask you. So you and I had a face-to-face a couple of months ago, and I think you had just joined the community council, or it was recently. And I said to you, I don't know if you remember, I was like, so do you have a history of being in charitable organizations and being on boards? And what did you tell me?
I remember the conversation. So how did I get into the community council? Barry Dorfman came to our meeting in October of last year. They were starting the get together for the New Year's party. And he just said, hey, I need volunteers if you want to show up. It's 11 o'clock on Wednesday. Here's the Zoom link. So I showed up. I said, hey, you need some help. What can I do? And that I'd never done anything with nonprofits or charities really before. And you were talking about the 34 volunteers we have for the event on Monday. It's the same thing. Like the community that we have within Master Networks, that's it. It's like servant leaders, and everybody always says it, and it's not a cliche, overused statement, because there really are servant leaders. They just want to help. I remember what really solidified me coming to Master Networks. I did a bunch of face-to-faces with people, and before every face-to-face ended, it was, how can I help you, and who do you need to know? Not like, hey, here's the people I'm looking to meet. Here's the business. Oh, we can work together and do this, and we can trade. There was none of that. It was, hey, you're new to the network. Who do you need to know, and how can I help you?
Yeah.
And just the sincerity of everybody saying that, and like, it just solidified, this is where I needed to be in life.
Yeah, because most places you go, like you said, you don't get that at all. It's
Right.
always like, what can I get out of it? What can you
And,
give me?
and by the way, you have to give X amount of referrals too.
Right. Yeah, here, check the box, right?
Right. And it's a bogus referral. So let me waste some more of your time.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
do that here.
So you don't have years and years working for charitable organizations.
I've never done any type of
His face.
nothing, absolutely zero nonprofit or charitable organization work. I know Tina's probably hearing this for the first time. But last year when Barry and Miri put the golf outing on, it wasn't until after the golf outing was over that she found out that was the first time that they worked together.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
Barry is like, right? Like, if you don't know Barry, he is like the king of golf outing, charitable.
So,
You want to talk a servant leader, right?
and that's a perfect segue into what the community council is and how it came about. So Tina and Barry were speaking last year, and Tina's vision of we're community minded, so we have to be able to give back to the community. So how can we do that? And Barry said, let's have a golf outing. And she was like, do you know what you're doing? And he's like, I've run hundreds of these. And she said, okay. And she let him run with it. And so the community council, from that idea of Tina wanting to give that back to the community, it's evolved over the last year and a half into what it is today. So what it is, we meet once a week. Our meetings right now, it's really focused on the golf outing itself, but it's meant for Master Networks members. And there's really three big things that are available to all members. So if you're working with something and you're trying to get a message out, right? You're doing an event, or you're working with a nonprofit, or you just need to get a message out about something going on, you can come to the community council, and we've got the Master Networks social media to be able to spread that. If you need hands and feet on the ground, if you got an event and you're doing a walk and you want more participants, it's the same way where we can get the message out to the chapters, and we can also use the social media. The third thing, it's all about raising money and being able to give it back to the community. So Master Networks members are going to be able to apply to the community council for a $500 grant to a nonprofit that they hold near and dear to their heart. We're going to be visiting all the chapters in early July and opening this up, the grant application process. But just to give you an idea, so all the money that we're raising for the golf outing is great. It has two wonderful things, right? We get to see each other. It's going to be an amazing night. But we're also raising money. We might have over $20,000 raised to be able to just give out. And what are we doing with it? What do we raise $20,000 for? Literally to give it back to nonprofits, right? Nobody in Master Networks is getting a penny of that.
Right.
So the charity work that we're doing, it's making a difference in the community, and it's a grant to a nonprofit that you care about. A lot of us don't have an extra $500 to be able to give to a nonprofit, but if it's somewhere that you really care about and it's local to the community, and you volunteer or you know somebody that works with them, you can apply for a $500 grant to them from Master Networks. And as far as I know, I've never heard of another networking association that's given back to the community the way we are.
Yeah. And it is that intentionality that really makes us stand out. And, when we talk about the community, not just giving back to the community, but Steph and I were talking about how our Master Networks is really a community of chapters, right? So it is a community in and of itself. And the reason I was saying before, like highlighting that you don't have experience wasn't to expose your lack of, it was really to say these are regular people who
That
genuinely
just
want to
dove
give
in,
back.
right?
They just
That just
you
Right.
just
dove
dove
in.
in. You said, "What do you need me to do?" You're a professional. You're a pro. You do what you take your skill set and you do what needs to be done to make it happen. And that was more of my point. 34 volunteers. People just saying, "I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to show up and whatever you need me to do, I'll do." Like that's the point I was making. We're just regular people. Like Steph and I are professional broadcasters. Obviously, I'm not a professional
Me
speaker.
either.
Right? We just started doing this to be able to help and to give back. And this is, kind of volunteer time. We don't get paid to do this, but it's just people jumping in, seeing how they can, again, create that community that we all benefit from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're stronger together, right? The more we come together and do things together as a whole, the stronger we become. And the more you want to do for others, right? We're always wanting to, like, hey, how can we help you? And hey, oh, let's see if we can do something for this person or that person. That's the beauty of this.
Yeah, Tina is actually weighing in here. It will be given in the member's name, and we're going to ask the members their connections to that nonprofit. We want to encourage the member to get more involved. See, that's another thing too. It's showing people the giving side that everybody has, but maybe it's just kind of, under a few layers there of cynicism by what the world does. But when we provide a vehicle through which people can give back and show them the way, great things can happen.
Yeah, and be involved. Like, so Tina's saying, like, make sure you're involved in whatever charity you're looking for Master Networks to give you that $500. Make sure you're part of it. Like, what are you doing with that and for that charity?
Right. How is that exactly? So how is that important to you? And what impact are you having on it outside of coming to the community council and asking for the grant? Like what is
Correct.
your role or what is your participation? Yeah, so it's I don't know, I'm really thrilled to be a part of it. Like if you would have said a year ago that I'd be doing this, it's six,
Ditto,
it's
Chris. Ditto.
right.
Right.
I'd be
Ditto. I
doing
think we
this.
can all say the same thing, right? But look, when you're part of, again, I go back to, it's all about how you make people feel, right? I
Right.
say that over and over and over again. And it's because we've been made to feel so good about what we're doing that more people want to do it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what were we talking about? The golf outing again? By the way, if you're not going to the golf outing and you're watching this, I was talking
I'm
about this in a
sorry
meeting
for you.
yesterday. I was talking about it in me. Yeah, I know. I was talking about a meeting yesterday and I was promoting it. I'm like, today's the last day. Yesterday, Thursday, no, today, Thursday, we were promoting it, and I was and I was saying, but the sad thing is you missed the deadline and you can't come. It wasn't being mean. I was like, because then I was like, oh, it is past the deadline, but maybe there's a way they could sneak in. I don't know that they actually can, but look, if you missed this sign up time, listen, don't miss next year's for sure, because there's going to be a third annual, right?
Oh,
There will
we're
be.
gonna do it every year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is not going away, but you guys, if you're missing out, then too bad for you. I hate to tell you, like, you must be living under a
There-
rock for a really long time, because we've been talking about this for
Yeah.
like
For
forever.
sure, you can't say you didn't know unless you just joined.
Right.
So Craig Ingber, like you said, did a video last year, Rob, and it was a 4 or 5 minute video. He also did the video for Molino's, our party back
Right.
in March. He's also doing the video for this one. So if you're gonna miss it, you're gonna catch an amazing 5 minute video in about a month, and you'll see
Yeah.
everything that you missed because it's
The guy's an absolute. He's a
Genius.
master. He's a
He's a
master at it.
genius.
And again, I don't mean to overstate it, but we had a meeting surrounding it. He's like, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want the message to be? And he crafted the whole thing.
Yep.
And basically donated his time and expertise to do that last year.
Yeah.
Now he
he's
did
so
such a great
humble,
job. We've retained him, right? The community council has retained him.
Yeah.
but he's so humble when you talk to him, and like I'll
Yeah.
tell you, like the Molino's video, like got choked up. He did such a great job producing that. and you'd say, "Oh my God, you lost me." He's like, "Well, thank you." You know, he's just so humble.
He is
When he
very,
tried to,
very humble.
Yeah.
And that's, and that, I think that's what, well, look, he's just a genius in what he does. And the fact that he's so humble just, makes you want to say it even louder to him. Like,
right.
Yeah.
dude, this is like really awesome. You like, this is true, like cinematography here.
Yeah. I don't know if this is accurate, if Tina's just causing trouble here, but regarding the golf outing that's happening Monday, so the registration ended yesterday, so we're so sorry, but she says email Barry tonight.
Ooh.
I don't know if I was supposed to put that up there, but you wrote it, so I posted it. Barry, sorry.
Oh.
Maybe getting a few emails because, but honestly, we really want the best turnout we could possibly have. We want everybody there, right? Because they're not. They will feel the culmination of community on Monday, right?
More love to share, right? The more people that are there, there's more love to share.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely, absolutely. So
And look, it's going to be a fun time. It's not just golf. There's going to be a live band. There's going to be cocktail hour. There's going to be an amazing dinner. We'll be dancing. We're going to
do
have a great.
recognition. Yeah.
Oh, we've got a
absolutely.
silent auction this year too.
Yes, the silent
Yeah.
auction.
Yeah,
So it'll be
absolutely.
good.
They're going to be auctioning off some really amazing prizes. So that should raise additional funds for the community councils, a fund to be directed towards other members' charities. So it's going to be great. But we're at 7:51, so we're 9 minutes before the hour. We just start wrapping up. But Chris, we want to give you a chance, maybe some final thoughts, some final words, anything you want to say before
Sure.
we bid you adieu.
I appreciate it. So yeah, Master Networks, I've been in a little over a year and a half. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm in the process of buying so my mother-in-law owns the insurance agency I work at. I'm in the process of buying it. It's going to be finalized next year. And there are so many people within Master Networks that have made this happen. A year and a half ago, this was not even on my radar of something that I thought I could achieve. And now it's coming to fruition of, we're getting the corporation set up right now. We're getting it licensed. So yeah, next year it's going to be official, but it's been amazing. It's
Congratulations.
thank you so
Awesome.
much. It wouldn't have been possible without the community of Master Networks, my Friday morning chapter in White Plains. There's so many people. The leadership and mentorship that I've gotten has just been amazing.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
absolutely.
So, Chris,
Well,
how can people
congratulations.
get?
Sure.
Yes, congratulations. How can people
Thank you
get a
very much.
hold of you?
So easiest way is Chris at Wasisco Agency. I know it's on the screen there. So it's Chris at wasiscoagency.com is email. That's probably the easiest way to get me. I would say a phone number, but the easiest way to reach out to me is that's it right there. Chris at wasiscoagency.com. Please feel free to reach out.
Awesome.
So reach out to Chris. Pick his brain about insurance. Pick his brain about creating a community. He's part of a great board there with Barry and Mary, and really know how to do it. Because I'm going to tell you something. I mean, with what was put on last year, and now with Chris, you board, and the rest of the volunteers that actually are part of that, the committee, your volunteers in there, because we know it's not just a 3-person job either. When you come to this, and if you don't come and you see the video, the magnitude of this one-day event that is, bringing people together and raising money, it's not easy. I couldn't do it. I don't know the first thing about doing it. I'm glad there's people that do
Yeah,
it.
me
Like
either. I'm so happy for Barry and so
yeah,
grateful, right? Forever
thank you.
grateful.
Thank you, Chris,
Very-
so much for donating your time to Master
Right. Chris,
Networks.
Mary
To-
is super
Yeah,
smart.
absolutely.
It's definitely a team effort. I mean, even beyond I know the three of us are on the executive committee, but the entire community council, like everybody has been helping out. Barry orchestrates it. He's done enough of these, but there's been so many helping hands to get it done. It's been easy. He says it all the time. Many hands make light work.
Yeah, it's true. I was just going to say that many hands do make light work. And you know what? The more hands you have, the more fun it is. So it doesn't feel like work.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, we should have an episode about fun. People forget fun in their work all the time. Chris, Tina's saying, tell us the name of your new business. Can you tell us?
The new business? Yeah, it's going to be JWI Group. So Januski Wasisco Insurance Group.
Nice.
So
Nice.
JWI Group.
We look forward to
Awesome.
seeing that, Chris. Chris, thank you for coming by and sharing with us. Appreciate all the hard work you do. Have a good night. We'll see you on Monday.
I
Yeah.
will, yes. I'm
Woo
looking
woo.
forward to it.
I know. Wow. What a good dude.
Oh my God, he's such a good guy. Such a good guy. We're so lucky.
We got
We're
the best
so
people.
lucky.
We actually have the best people, I feel, on Master Networks. We really do. I want to thank everybody for coming by. Barbara, hey, Chris, Barbara says, congrats. Lots of congratulations around. We love to hear good news. One of the reasons that why I wanted to become a leader in Master Networks and build is I just want to see people win.
Yeah.
Whatever you're endeavoring to do, I want to see you win. That's why I do this. When Steph, when you came up with the idea for this live, I thought we should do this because this could help somebody in some small way, maybe get over that hurdle, make a decision, move ahead a little bit more, get an idea for something that will help them win. That was my whole purpose.
And just know that you have all these people behind you to support you, right? That's super important. Sometimes change is scary. So when you're trying to reach your next goal, right, it's better to know that you have some other people cheering you on than doing it by yourself, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Chris. So Chris, if you missed it, I asked everybody on this call to text the person that sponsored them and just thank them for inviting it. And Chris was sponsored by Fenton Joseph, and Fenton wrote back a heart and a thumbs up. Really
Awesome.
nice. Really nice. That's awesome. So thank you so much. So we got 4 minutes out, right? So what do we want to do now? What do we want to tell them about the next episode for sure?
Yeah, we'll tell them about this. Sure, we could tell them about the next episode, and we can do some thank yous. And so, go ahead, you talk about the next episode, and then I'll do the thanking. How about that?
Very cool. So, as you guys know, I'm Build It Through Culture Live. We come at you every 2 weeks now, and have been. So we're looking at episode 18 next time we get together. So this is episode 17 in the bag. We hope you guys are getting some value out of this. And if so, again, please share it. Not just share this tonight, but share this live with people in your network. They don't have to be Master Networks member to get some value out of this. The whole point is to be able to teach people stuff that's going to help them level up. So on June 30th, it will be the last episode for June. That's episode 18. And, we won't reveal what the topic is, but it will be coming out that week. So pay attention. If you didn't already do it, please like the Master Networks Inc. page so you do know, and you can be at least one more person besides Rachel who knows the topic before we even ask.
And hey, if you see me on the golf course, I'm going to give you a special word, right? And if you tell me that special word, then maybe I'll be giving you something when I see you on the golf course. Ooh. So if you see me on the golf course, you better say network for life.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. So tell them one more time. If they say network to life,
network for
on the
life.
Golf course.
On the golf course.
He's got something for you.
I'll have something for you.
All right. So that's going to be that's the what do they call it? The secret phrase, the secret hashtag is network for life.
And that's what you have to tell me. Secret hashtag network
for life. Go ahead. So once again, when you're on the golf course and the golf outing or anywhere on Monday at the golf outing, go up to Steph and say the secret hashtag.
Only during the golf outing.
Oh, not at night?
Okay. Maybe. We'll see. Try it. Let's see.
Try it. Just go up to Steph when you see her on the golf course and say the secret hashtag is network for life. She got something for you.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's do some thank yous. How about that?
Yeah. So again, I want to start by thanking Mr. Chaz Wilson for starting this organization. We can't thank you enough. It's because you started this, and then Tina brought it to our region that we get to be here with you tonight. So thank you, Chaz. Thank you, Tina, for being such an amazing mentor to Rob and I. Not just a mentor, but you're a friend. And you're not just a friend. You're really like family to us. So thank you, Tina. Thank you, Renee, for giving Rob and I the opportunity to do it on the Inc. page. So thank you so very much. But really, who makes this all possible is all of you that come every time we're on Thursday. So thank you. Thank all of you. And please, please continue to come. Please share it with others and let them know. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys continue to find value, and we really appreciate you. And of course, don't forget, spread love wherever you go. It's so simple. Make sure you're walking around with a smile on your face. It has the ability to totally change someone's complete day.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Steph. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. Join us in 2 weeks where we'll do it all over again and have even more fun. See you on the golf course.
See you on the course. Bye, guys.